Welcome to the Tom Barnard Family Podcast with
co-host Catherine Brandt.
And Andy Barnard.
and Kristen Burt.
Kristen was having some connectivity issues. She's
Yep.
rebooting or whatever the heck she's doing.
No doubt about it. She's rebooting or some deal.
Reboot.
Yeah, there's no question. We're just I think we mentioned this yet. Did we mention the Lumber Exchange yesterday, Andy?
No, not on the show.
Oh, we didn't on the show. Okay. Because I didn't want to double down on something. But it's a very personal thing for me because the Lumber Exchange is on what, Hennepin and 4th Street?
Maybe
4th or 5th,
something like that. Yep.
I know it's
right down there.
Yeah, it's at like Hennepin and 5th, I think it is, but 4th or maybe 4th. But
400 Hennepin Avenue.
Oh, so it is 4th and Hennepin. Yep, there you go. But the reason that comes up is I would say about the last 30 years of my voiceover career was at there or the Fauché Tower, because at the 28th floor they used to have a studio up there too. Bob had his studio up there, and it was great and all the rest of it. But to hear that building is pretty much empty now, the one at 4th and Hennepin, the Lumber Exchange building, really, really feels bad because I literally for 20, 30 years, those two places, and for a while there was one on the IDS too on the 50th floor. There was one there for a while. But the Lumber Exchange building, I did tons and tons and tons of voiceover there and had wonderful times, and it was all the greatest. That building just sold for $1.
Yep.
$1.
Well, you just aren't going to attract businesses that, have to be subjected to constant political problems
And
in that
violence.
state. Yeah,
Yep.
they love it. They love it so very much.
It really makes my heart feel not that glad, though, because there are many, many people that I did voice over there with who are no longer with us. A lot of people have died in the past 30 years, obviously. The people that were another generation older than me, they haven't all passed on, but a lot of them have. And so many great times in that Lumber Exchange building. There was a nice, matter of fact, Club Casino was downstairs. Remember that when they had a club there on the first floor?
No, I don't remember any of that.
You don't really?
That's probably when I lived out in Dayton, and I really didn't go downtown very often because it was just
It's a long drive
long
back.
way, and I had kids and
Yeah, that's
horses
true.
and dogs to take care of, and I didn't really run around downtown too much. But there's another building in St. Louis Park that also just sold for pennies on the dollar. The robot's stuck. I gotta go get the vacuum.
Oh, you're right. I can't hear the robot. The robot vacuum cleaner.
Oh, you guys got a Roomba?
Yeah, we got a Roomba. Yep. But yeah, Andy, I mean,
Was the Lumber Exchange building where we did that pre-episode, that episode number 0?
I think so.
Because I remember it was like a weird little corner room kind of thing.
Yeah, there was one there. Yep.
That was where we did episode 0. And then we did episodes, I think 1 through 5 or 6 in a much bigger studio.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if that was in the same building or not.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
It was
either.
a long time ago. One of those was in the Lumber Exchange building. That's all I know.
That just breaks my heart, though, that my voiceover career, like I said, at the Fauché Tower, too, and the IDS building, there was a place out on 25th and Nicollet, creative audio. I mean, Minnesota used to be a great market, and I mean one of the top 2 or 3 markets for voiceover in America. There were 4, 5, 6 different studios, and they were always busy. It was a whole different time. Do you remember that when the voiceover business in Minnesota was just booming, was on fire?
Does whom remember that?
I'm talking to Kristen.
I do remember when the entire entertainment business was booming in Minnesota. Even when I
Yes.
lived there, I worked, even though I had a job at Shop NBC and MSNBC, I still did outside work. There was a ton of work to be had there.
Lots of voiceover, no question. I was talking about basically the last 30, 35 years of my voiceover career was in the downtown area, or like I said, the South 25th and Nicollet. There was one down there, but that building, were you on yesterday when we talked about the Lumber Exchange?
No.
The Lumber Exchange building, where I did about 80% of my voiceover. I lived in that building because I was doing 5, 6, 7 voiceovers a day, right? I was very, very lucky. That building just sold for $1.
Oh,
A
wow.
dollar.
Sold to some like venture capital firm, it looks like.
For $1.
Yep.
Let's see. It's sold to.
Well, there was a Chicago company that had it and hadn't paid
Oh,
the note for a while.
really?
So they put it up for
Vard
auction.
Partners, Varde Partners, something like that. Yeah, it's an investment management firm because, of course, it is.
Of course it is.
Mm-hmm.
But that's so sad that the downtown area is just. You going down to Murray's and Manny's and all the great restaurants downtown and just having a wonderful time. I mean, what are they going to do with all those buildings downtown if they're selling for $1?
I know.
My God.
People don't have money to like go and eat out anyway. So
don't.
restaurants are
Jesus.
struggling. It's really serious. It's really serious.
I gotta go take a nap. It's just too hard on my
I know.
brain.
I know. And you know, I always notice like I start to see the I always know like the economy's going this direction when I see that women aren't getting their nails done as much.
Oh, yeah.
That is
Really?
like the first expense, you know. It's because if you're getting the acrylics, if you're doing like the really like high end nails, it's $100 plus if you go into the salon. So
Yeah.
Maybe in LA. Here it's like 60.
for acrylics,
Yeah.
oh wow.
Well, it depends. I mean, the woman next to me, I just went yesterday and had a pedi and a mani.
She did.
And this woman next to me was having these very fancy nails with all kinds of little pearls, and I don't even know what was going on. It looked like it was going to take an hour and a half. She showed me the picture of what she was going to get done. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you do all that to one fingernail, but yeah. The down here the salons are packed. The restaurants are very, very busy. A little less busy than maybe 2 years ago. I don't really know why, because the hotels are very busy because of the crappy weather up on the East Coast. They all
Yep.
have to get out of town and they all run
Yep.
down to Florida because it's so nice and close. And but you still have to get a reservation a few days in advance, and some places weeks in advance. So it's still very busy down here.
This is the snowbird time of year, though, too, Florida. Let's
Yeah.
talk. We'll see what summer looks like too, because I know for the restaurants that is
Oh yeah, well,
a slower time for sure, because it's
oh
so
absolutely.
hot.
A lot of them just shut down for the summer, and they go on their vacations, or they just don't even do it, or they are open 2 or 3 days a week because
Yep.
there's not enough people.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Before we move on, I have to ask one more question about finances. Okay. You ready? So I found out, just yesterday, that the Lumber Exchange sold for $1. Like I said, 30 years of voiceover. It was unbelievable. Magnum sold for $1. But just a month ago, I took a friend of mine to dinner, and the steak he ordered was $200.
Yeah.
How is a steak worth 200 times more than a building? That's what I'd like
Just
to know.
his meal was $200. I thought that was the whole meal.
No, just his steak was $200.
What did he have? A tomahawk?
I believe that's correct.
Wagyu beef.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that could be. But seriously, a steak is $200, but a building is $1. What? When? I've never been through this kind of thinking before. My God.
Well, the state of Minnesota, the only thing that the industries that are growing there are government and healthcare. And now all of a sudden, healthcare, because of ICE taking out illegal immigrants, whatever you want to call them, undocumented workers, whatever you want to call them, they're not getting their health care. And then also with the Medicaid fraud being discovered and stopped, that was also involved in the growth of healthcare, which was all fraudulent dollars. But
Yeah.
people were, when the government's spending the money, even if it's fraud, it still is on the books like it's spending it. So it's growth, and it's actually. So I don't think that's going to look good when all this fraud is said and done. And I know California's going through a lot of it too. They're starting to look at it as well. When those numbers go down, I don't know what that means for the economy of a
Yeah.
state like Minnesota, where only the government's growing.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. And it's a situation where I was talking to a friend of mine last night, just, having a good conversation about this, that, and the other thing. And we talked about the fact that, a lot of stuff. Well, you have the $200 steaks, you have the $1 buildings, all the rest of that. Where are we headed with this? So if to eat dinner is $600, but to sleep in your building is a quarter, how is this good? This is so many. How long did you live in Minneapolis?
2 years.
2 years.
But that's a long time ago when things were much less expensive.
Right.
Oh yeah, it was 2002 to 2004. And yeah, it was a vibrant, downtown area, of course, at that time too. Yeah.
And that's my exact point. So you do remember the vibrant, beautiful downtown area with magnificent restaurants, and you could walk downtown all night if you wanted. Nobody ever bothered you.
I probably spent more time downtown. I probably would have lived in that area, just because it was more my vibe. But I lived out in Minnetonka, which was lovely, but it's just very sleepy for someone coming from a city.
Sure.
But I just wasn't great at driving in snow, and I oftentimes have to go to the studio late at night, so it was just easier for me to make that trip. So that's why I lived out there. But on the weekends, I spent a lot of time just there because the restaurants were there, the nightlife was there. When people would come to town, they would stay there, so it was always fun to go out.
Yep.
Well, 6th and Hennepin, or 7th and Hennepin, I guess it was, had like 5 movie theaters. There was one on every basically block in the 4 block.
Theaters. We were getting all the high-end national steakhouses were coming in, and Fogo de Chao, and all those like nationwide recognizable restaurant chains were coming in, and it was definitely a great time, but those days are over.
Well, now we can move on after that at my expense when I point out that I won't say which steakhouse it was, but it was a new one that opened about, 5-10 years ago, something like that. So Catherine and I decided to go down and have dinner, and we walked in, and the guy was a big listener to the KQ morning show, and he went on and he goes, now that you're here, I just want to make sure that you have a great experience. So we're going to go a little extra for you tonight. I said, you don't have to do that.
You're talking about the Capitol Grill.
I wasn't going to name them, but
Why not? Why not? If they want to look up the bill from all those years ago.
Well, that's true. So
they can.
Catherine and I had dinner. It was just Catherine and me, the two of us. And they did make it a very, very special night. And it got really special when I saw the bill was $6,000 for 2 people.
Wait, what year was this?
20 years ago, maybe, Catherine?
So 20 years ago, the bill was $6,000.
It's like $10,000 today.
Yeah, probably.
It was just you and me. I thought there was a table full, but I must be thinking of a different experience.
That night. Unbelievable. Honest to God, $6,000 for a meal for 2.
Jeez, we must
Well,
have been
there are
drinking some
bottles of
high-end.
wine that are worth, probably
Well, I know.
$2,000-$3,000 right there. So,
But I don't think we drank that kind of wine at that. I don't know. I just thought it was a little spendy.
A little.
That's all I'm saying.
I would have a heart attack over that bill. It's a lot of money on food. For me, a vacation, that's one thing, a cruise, but when you get a $6,000 food tab, which, yes, it's good, it's tasty, but at the same time, you're like, is anything worth $6,000 on a meal? I don't know.
Yeah, I just read a post. This lady said that her husband and her were saving up money to go out on an anniversary or something to this restaurant they've always wanted to go to, and they saved up $1,000 to go to dinner. They spent $700 of it, and they said, and it wasn't even that great. It was when you finish eating it, you're like, was this worth $700? Was this worth almost a month and a half or 2 months worth of groceries?
Yeah, there's diminishing returns on food. Like, even if it is better, it's not going to be 3-4 times better.
No.
I'd rather have 14 $50 steaks than a single $700 steaks.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a question for you. Sister Boss in the Lumber Exchange, a different name before? I thought there was. What does that mean?
Sister Boss? I don't remember
Sister Boss.
What's Sister Boss?
Well, Tom, I don't know if what was the name of it?
Sister Boss sound design and audio post production for. He's wondering if that's where we went. Is we went to Sister Boss because they're in.
No.
No, it wasn't that. I can't remember what it was called.
It was Doug Dixon's
It was
studio.
Cookhouse.
Cookhouse. Yeah, that's right.
Cookhouse.
Cookhouse.
Yes.
I was there for many, many years.
Many years, no question. It was just a wonderful time. But I guess in the end, as we segue away from it here, it just makes me very, very sad because I used to walk downtown from Plymouth and Bryant when I was like 10 years old, 9 years old. It was safe. Nobody ever bothered me. I'd walk up and down Hennepin Avenue and Nicollet and all around, and then I'd just go home. Now you can't even go down there with armed guards, for Christ's sake.
I lived there from, 2013 to 2018?
Yeah.
Yeah, about
2013 or
that.
2014 to 2018. And I walked around all the time. It didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Yep.
But by 2018, I was seeing the writing on the wall. Because, we moved out of the Itasca building. And I was like, I think it might be time for me to get out of here, too.
Yeah.
Well, the warehouse district used to be and it's still one of the safer areas of downtown. None of the riots reached up into that area because
Right.
that's all residential and businesses.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really have much to do with that area that they're burning down all the time. So, yeah, southeast Minneapolis is basically where all that stuff's going on.
Yeah, that's
But,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say it made me very, very sad to see all that whole situation going on, and it's changing completely, and it's really too bad. Unfortunate. Downtown Minneapolis, what a great time that was. What was the name of the popcorn stand on 7th Street, just south of Hennepin Avenue? There was a big popcorn stand there.
Listeners.
Listeners, well,
Where's Margaret? Where's Margaret when you need her?
yeah, Margaret, where are you?
I don't think I can help you with this one.
A popcorn stand?
It
I
was
don't
like
know
an
that.
entire.
What did you say?
It was just south of Hennepin Avenue on 7th Street. It was Popcorn King.
Oh
or
no,
something
Margaret
like that.
doesn't know you
Margaret
guys.
doesn't know.
Margaret doesn't know.
Wow.
Margaret.
What are we going to do? She
What
doesn't
the
know
hell?
something. Candyland?
No, it wasn't You know what? I think it was right next to Candyland. Or was it part of Candyland?
Popcorn
bin?
Popcorn Bin? Was that what it was?
I don't know.
Was
It
it,
was
a
so great.
chain or was it a local
God, I don't even.
business?
Their
Yeah.
popcorn was freshly made. They made it fresh every time, and it was phenomenal. The great thing about that, you had the popcorn store, and then you had Music City on one corner and Music Land on the other corner. So you went and got popcorn and walked around the record stores looking for your favorite new album that came out. It was just a treat.
Are you talking about that place that has like popcorn in it and it's like a candy? Yeah, it's a candy.
Maybe it is
that,
Candyland.
That are at the malls.
I don't know. The one
Drawing a
downtown,
blank
it
on
might
what
have been
that
Candyland. That is a possibility.
Okay.
It says here, I was thinking Candyland too, right by the Foot Locker. Yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
Okay, Candyland.
Well, there you go.
No question about it. But yeah, it was a wonderful, wonderful experience to go downtown back in the caramel corn. Somebody's chirping for caramel corn now.
I like cheese popcorn.
Oh, me too.
I like
just
the
bought some.
salty. I don't want the sweet.
Yeah, white cheddar, very salty popcorn. That's my thing.
So good.
What's the one? Critters?
Critters.
Oh,
Critters?
GH Critters or whatever.
Yeah, Critters, yep.
You know, Dan Rasmussen was so impressed with the fact that all of the kernels are the popped kernels
They're
are all the
huge.
same size. He actually called the company to find out how they made all of the popcorn the same size.
What was the answer?
I don't remember, but and maybe it was a proprietary way of, maybe they didn't give him the answer. I don't remember, but it was because every time I opened it, it's like, how do they do this? It's perfect, and it is very good. They sell it at Whole Foods, which means that they don't have the seed oils, right? The toxic seed oils.
Yeah,
Is that
I
what
think
that
that's
means?
right.
I think there's a big sign in Whole Foods that says anything that we sell doesn't contain seed oils.
Oh.
Right.
Well, let's see. GH Critters. They have all sorts of different kinds of popcorn. The cheddar cheese popcorn. I know you guys bought that.
So
I love cheddar cheese.
Ingredients.
It is
it's
good.
vegetable oil, sunflower, safflower, corn, and/or canola oil. So
Oh,
it does have seed oil.
I was surprised to see it in the store because I thought, well, this isn't, popcorn brand that probably has seed oils in it. But then they have a sign saying that they don't have seed oils. So
Dave says
I
real
guess-
butter is the secret. Not here. It's not.
I love real butter on popcorn. I
Oh,
do
yeah.
not care. I will
yeah.
dump that all over it.
Yeah, we used you used to do a segment on the KQ show, real or not real food.
Yep.
Yep.
And when we were at the movie theater, they were pouring the artificial stuff all over it, and they had the little package right there. And I said, "Can I take this?" And I gave it to you, and you did a real or not real food with that. It was a list of ingredients you have no idea. And butter
bunch of
wasn't in
chemicals.
there.
When I worked at the movie theater and we would do concessions, we weren't allowed to. You would say, "Would you like butter topping?" We weren't allowed to say butter because
Yep.
it's not butter.
It's not butter.
Yeah, but that was very, very. They were very strict about that.
It still tasted pretty good, I have to say. Back in the day, I thought.
I got Amish country buttery topping, soybean oil, palm oil, artificial butter flavor, TBHQ, whatever that is.
Oh man.
Beta carotene added for color, and dimethyl polysiloxane.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like
Doesn't
food.
sound like butter to me,
Doesn't
but
sound like real
That's
food, does
not
it?
butter.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It's
this-
the one thing I probably make a concession on, though. I go to the movies and I'm like, just put it on. I don't
Put
care.
it on.
Yeah. But I have a question. These places made billions of dollars and then went on the cheap to make even more money by not using real butter and things like that. It was too expensive.
Never enough.
Well, there's a big. I find I'm on this algorithm on TikTok in particular when really all natural family brands get bought out by big corporations, and
Yeah.
Siete comes to mind, and it's only a matter of time before the cheap ingredients start creeping in, and they're still
Yeah.
calling them all natural brands because in America, all natural can mean a whole variety of things.
Right. Right.
Rayo's spaghetti sauce is another one that was bought by Campbell's.
No, so sad.
Yeah, there's several of those that have happened, and you just start to see everything get watered down, and you
Yeah.
have to go and find another small brand to go and support.
Did you ever go to the original Rayo's in New York?
I did not.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was phenomenal.
I think that the one out in Vegas was not nearly as good.
No, it was not.
They're
as
never as good as the original.
good. God, New York Rayo's. Oh,
It was
why
good,
did you bring it up?
But it wasn't great. Yeah.
No, the one in New York was great.
But
Yeah,
their
it's
sauce
really-
is so good, even for a jarred sauce. It's
It
delicious.
It is.
It really
yeah,
is.
that's what we buy. They have a sensitive marinara. That's the only thing we buy.
Yeah.
What was
you have to
the-
be careful? The sugar creeps in.
Yeah, that's true. What was the guy at the front desk name again? The really big, giant guy who was always joked around with me every time we went there.
Are you
And
talking about Rayo's in Vegas?
Rayo's in Vegas, yeah.
Gosh, I
what
can't
was his
remember
name?
Yeah, he was a guy. Yeah.
Every
He was there
year
a long time.
I'd show up. Hey, Tommy, how you doing? He'd be
Yeah.
yelling.
That's a maitre d, man. When they remember your name, you're well. I think Louis Anderson
Louis
brought
Anderson.
us there,
Yes.
and he
Yep.
went there a lot, so that's why
Yep.
he
Oh,
remembered.
that's
us.
nice though. But
Yeah.
that's why people would earn big tips in Vegas, and
Yes.
there were lifelong waiters and maitre d's because they earned a great living there.
They did.
It
Yep.
was such a great experience. Is it still a good experience in Vegas, or is it not as good?
It's tough. I mean, Vegas is definitely
Yeah.
seeing a downturn in
That's
its
what I heard.
economy, and just from basic things too. I think people get frustrated, like, why am I paying for parking? Why is there a $60 resort fee per night? They're just people hate being nickeled and dimed all the time. You're going to order a cocktail; it's $20 to $25 for a cocktail.
Right.
It's frustrating.
Yep.
It is.
It's very frustrating.
Well,
Ladies
yeah.
and gentlemen, what, Andy?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll say it after the promo or whatever.
Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. And now on to Andy.
Yeah, speaking of being nickeled and dimed and everything costing a lot of money, I looked at I mentioned this last month briefly, our power bill. And the amount of little extra charges tacked on to the power bill.
Oh, God.
It's
Let's see if I can
much.
pull up my statement and enumerate. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid, obviously, because you'd think I'm a billionaire if I could afford these prices, which I'm not. Seriously, God, power is expensive. Is it like
Oh,
that
yeah.
in California right now? Has your power bill doubled since the past few years?
No, so we get our power bill every 2 months. So we pay for 2 months at a time. And we usually pay about $125 for 2 months.
That's pretty
Wow.
good.
really
Isn't that amazing? California
we
we've
pay
never
here.
seen that major increase. And in the summer, when we're using, obviously, air conditioning a lot more than, we don't put the heat on that much here, but air conditioning, it probably bumps it up to like 150, 160
Yeah.
for 2 months too. So it's like about $80 a month.
Jeez,
All
that's
right.
insane.
Charlie in Albuquerque is showing how long he's known me because it's been a long time. His question, Tommy, did you duke the guy a 50?
A fitty.
A 50, yeah. There.
Fitty.
Duke the guy a 50? Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I don't know how you knew that, but yes, I did. There's no question. You know, one
Here
thing
we go.
about that. Yeah.
I got my bill up. So let's see. We got basic service charge. We got energy charge, winter. So extra charge in the winter.
Yay.
Yay.
Fuel cost charge, renewable connect flex,
Oh, God.
sales true up, whatever that is, the affordability charge.
That's
The
you're paying for
resource
everybody else's.
adjustment.
Yep.
Yep, exactly. We got the resource adjustment and the interim rate adjustment. These are all just for electricity, by the way. Natural gas also has the basic service charge, distribution charge, cost of gas, gas affordability, interim rate adjustment, pricing event surcharge, decoupling adjustment, and resource adjustment.
Oh,
Now, that's just electricity, or do you have like gas stove
It's
or
gas
electric?
and electricity.
You have gas and electricity. What's
But
your
I mean-
gas bill look like?
I mean, it's not good. It's also, the coldest time of the year, so it's,
yeah.
Right.
yeah. But
Well,
I-
Minnesota is trying to phase out all gas, even though we have natural gas.
Yeah.
And it's usually way easier to get and transport and everything than electricity. And they've shut down one of the nuclear electricity plants, and they're trying to. All of this is through these green initiatives, which they didn't have that in place before they decided to transition everybody off of
Course not.
gas and all of this. Yes.
Government
Yep.
likes to do that. We're just going to rip the Band-Aid off, but we got no plan.
Yeah, wasn't that the truth?
Oh
Well,
my
it
God,
works
all the
really
time.
well in campaign promises.
So
but
our
they
house is
don't think it
very
over.
electric. Like the only thing in our house that isn't electric, we got a fireplace and we got the furnace. And I did the math, and in order to switch our furnace over to electric, because I was like, this gas bill is
Oh, you
insane.
don't want to do that.
If we got an electric furnace, it would be like 6 times the cost per month.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my
do that.
God.
If they get rid of natural gas, people are going to freeze to death.
That's crazy. We have a gas stove and then a gas dryer, and I joined some program. This is so weird. They had some sort of like solar program for our gas, and I joined it, and we get credits every year instead. So we haven't paid a gas bill in like 10 months. They give us
Wow.
a credit every year, so we'll pay like 2 or 3 months, and it's usually like $8. And
How do
then
you do that in a condo?
that's good question. I don't know, but they said you're allowed to do it to offset something, and I joined it, and it's turned out to be a moneymaker for us.
Yeah, because I got something from the city of West Palm Beach saying if you change over to a low water toilet, that's great. We'll give you a $250 credit on your water bill. Well, our water bill's paid through our HOA, so
You're like, I can't win there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we don't have
Right.
solar panels on our condo building, so I don't know
Yeah.
how I joined a program, but they let me join it. I joined it during the pandemic, and every year we get like this credit, and I'm always like, Bill, we don't have another. We're just starting to run out of our credit, so we'll probably pay for the next 3 or 4 months, and then it resets.
Yeah, we actually, a guy came to our house with a program like that, and we did join it. Basically, it's like the solar farms in the area, they sell the power to your power company, which then sells the power to you. But because the rates are lower for the solar, there's something about like, because you're part of like the solar thing, you're giving money to the solar company, who is then selling the selling the power to XL or whoever you use.
Right.
And that's how you get the discount. It's like, it's a modest discount, but it's still, I mean, solar power, good, discount, good. Why
Yeah.
not?
well, as we know in Minnesota, if it's a government program, no one's checking on the usage and no one cares anyway. So
Very true.
I'm like, it's been a
Enjoy.
moneymaker for us. I know,
Enjoy.
6 years.
yeah,
California, though, I mean, God, you got a lot more sunlight than we do.
We have so much sunlight. To the
Right.
point, sometimes when it rains for a week, I'm like, this is amazing. Because
Yeah, I know.
the sun actually becomes overwhelming because you feel the need to be outside every single day. And I know that sounds weird, but there are days you're like, I just need to stay in the house and relax.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. We understand. We had a
Yeah.
little rain over the weekend, which was a godsend because we're in a drought down here.
Indeed. Or I'll close your segment with this, if that's okay, Kristen.
Yeah.
You ready? Alex Bazar says, we run at 69. And yes, 51% of that was for a joke. You can guess how far back my wife's eyes rolled in annoyance when I said that.
You're stuck at the roof of her.
Oh boy.
Ah.
The greatest.
You're
I
so
love our
funny. I
listeners.
forgot to laugh.
Our listeners are the best in the business. You people are amazing. Oh, never mind. I got to move on.
boy.
Are you all set, Kristen?
I'm good.
You made me feel better, though, except for I still do miss the Lumber Exchange building. Damn it.
That's not my fault, so I can't.
Yeah, it's
take
not
credit
your.
for that one.
That's exactly right. It's not your
You bought
fault.
it for
Not
$2
your
though, and then
Yeah,
worked
twice
into
as
the
much.
business still.
Kind of had a bidding war.
Yeah.
Could've- Yeah.
I know. I wish that one of these days I found out about this. I would have given him $5.
Maintenance on the building might be a little spendy, is all
Yeah,
I
that's
have to
the
say.
Property taxes.
I'm
What
sure
are
you could-
property taxes? I'd be
Yep.
curious.
Sure, you could get the government to do something with it.
All right, Kristen. Well, thank you. It was a tough day reading through all that stuff, and we still laughed and had a good time anyway with you, so I appreciate it.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. We shall take a quick break. Be right back. Is Sandy going to be on next?
I believe so.
Well, you never know with Sandy, though.
No, you do. You do never know.
Sandy.
All right, we'll be right back.
From Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. What's up, Allie?
Oh, not much. Doing my usual thing of telling people they shouldn't be texting and driving. In Minnesota, you can't have your phone in your hands. You can use, hands free, but you can't have your phone in your hand for whatever reason. And that's why they made the law the way they did, so that police officers could see a phone in your hand and you got no excuse for why you got it there.
Do people know that that's the law?
I hope so. I mean, they used to follow it, and then kind of COVID kind of made people forget. And now it's like a freewheeling world out there with cell phones.
Let's say you get pulled over because you do have a phone in your hand and you're not watching where you're going. You got to be in pretty big trouble then, I would guess.
Well, the first one's not as bad. It's the multiple ones, the problem. And once people start stacking them up, then they have a big problem. And then what we're doing in car accidents is we've started bringing motions for punitive damages, because I'm trying to use the civil law any way we can to stop this, because it needs to stop.
Whenever I'd had any problems in my life, who was that I called again? It was like an MB, something like that.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
Oh, Andy's rocking out, man.
People in the chat are talking about their power bills now and that sort of thing.
Oh, I suppose
Well,
they are, yeah.
Our old
Margaret said her gas bill is $200 and she runs her house at 67.
Ooh, that's chilly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 67 isn't exactly sweltering or anything, and she's still paying
No.
$200 for gas. We pay over $200 for gas, but although we really need to insulate our sunroom this summer.
Yeah, Florida Power and Light is pretty expensive, and our old condo that we moved from had complete southern exposure. It was so hot when the sun was out. We had
Yeah.
to keep the blinds shut all the time, and it was just sweltering out there. And our condo could be $500 a month
Yeah.
to cool. And
Yeah, I doubt it.
that was ridiculous. And now we have I don't know what we have now. What does our balcony face? But it's always shaded.
East
There's
and
palm
west.
trees and all this stuff, so we get some morning sun, and then we don't get that hot afternoon sun.
Mm.
And it's like 150 here.
Right.
Yeah.
I think, well, the back of our house faces east and the front of our house faces west.
Yeah.
So, because we have a little balcony on the front of our residence as well, which is really nice.
Well,
It's not a
we'll
huge-
never know until they get the project done up there.
In some
It's right
century.
behind that black curtain, which we've
Yep.
never had open because there's always people out there working. So,
That's exactly right.
well,
No
maybe
question.
next year. I'm not sure.
We'll figure it out, but it
Whatever
all It'll all come together. Honest to God, you mentioned this already, Andy, but I got to mention again. I love the posts that we get during this show because some people throw a little shot at you. Some people tell a joke. You could actually learn things from reading it, which is, I mean, not from Big Dave or anything, but everybody else. You know what I mean?
Joe says our latest electric bill is $245 for an apartment that's less than 850 square feet.
Oh my God, where is that?
Louisville.
Oh, that's what I thought. So that's in Louisville?
Yeah, $250 for an 800 square foot apartment.
Holy Christ.
Well, I mean, if you look at what solar has basically taken over. Apparently in Spain, they're bulldozing all these ancient olive trees. And I guess an olive tree takes a really long time to produce olives.
Yeah.
They're just bulldozing these big, beautiful groves and putting up solar panels everywhere. I just don't understand why we're not putting those on top of all the parking garages, all of the buildings in the cities where people live to produce the electricity. Why are we ruining the countryside, all the birds and the bees and all the stuff that rely on these?
Right.
I mean, it's all going to be, I don't think that solar panels are very, they're plastic and what? They're not
Metal.
environmentally friendly.
Metal, yeah.
Plexiglass and silicon mostly, and then circuitry, of course.
And I don't think you can recycle those. I don't know what the lifespan is of those.
I remember, and I don't know how many years it was when we moved to Golden Valley. We built the house in Golden Valley. What year was that?
05-ish?
About '05, so
Was
20
it?
years ago.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Catherine and I wanted to put those panels up on the deck of on the roof of our house, so we could just charge these batteries and never have to buy electricity, and it'd be much cleaner and healthier for everybody else. They said absolutely not.
A lot of HOAs will not allow
They
it.
won't
And
allow
that
it.
should just be like, sorry, if you like that condo we were talking about with all of that southern exposure. If we would have put a Tesla, what's that called? Tesla bank?
Power bank?
Power bank.
Mm-hmm.
And they have really small solar
Yeah,
panels.
they do. Yep.
We could have easily done that, and nobody would have seen it.
Nope.
Nobody would have
even
seen it. We were on the 16th floor.
Yep.
Nobody was looking at it. I mean, unless our neighbors were staring down at our balcony, which, I mean, too bad, so sad. If you want to stare at our balcony all
Tough
day
up.
long. Yeah. I know. I really don't understand this with all of these parking garages and all of these buildings, why they just don't layer the cities in solar panels instead of ripping up all the trees.
Well, there you go,
Get it.
Jimmy. We had hot water solar on our home since 1981. And
Really?
with
That's
11
great.
kids, my parents saved millions in electricity. Not really,
Millions.
but, I mean, 1981 solar, it was not a big thing quite yet.
You got to read his latest post, Andy, the top
We
there.
still only had 2 minutes to shower. Yeah, well, with 11 kids, that's 42 minutes of hot water a day. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Of hot water.
11 kids doing 2-minute showers.
When we moved
Yeah.
to Minnesota, we bought a renovated farmhouse in Golden Valley, or my dad did, I should say, not we. And it had a big tank, and it got filled with oil, like 3 times a year. And that's what we ran the heater on. I don't
Yeah.
even know if those exist anymore or
I
what kind
doubt
of
it.
oil it was. It was not a propane tank. It was an oil tank.
It wasn't like
was-
kerosene.
No, it was some sort of oil. It got delivered, and
Well, I
That
know
was it.
that a lot of places, like a lot of automotive shops, they'll have systems so that they can burn the waste automotive oil for heating because they
Oh.
get so much of it. And I mean, waste oil is kind of difficult to dispose of. It's terrible for the environment no matter what you do with it. So a lot of places, they just burn it. They just fill these barrels with this oil and they just generate heat with it.
yeah, why not? Oh, yeah,
Like
Jay, it
Jill-
was called a Powerwall, Tesla Powerwall. That's
Yeah.
what it's called. Yeah, my
Yeah,
brother.
Jill says fuel oil is what you had.
Yeah, I don't know what it.
Cool.
I don't know what kind of oil or where it came from. Is it
Oh, there you go,
diesel?
Dave. Number one furnace oil. I used to deliver it.
Number 1 furnace oil. Okay, yeah, I don't know if people still use that.
Yeah, fuel oil, furnace oil. Yeah, there's furnace oil is a specific type of fuel oil. Huh.
And we lived in that house for a very long time. My dad never converted the furnace.
Yeah.
It was there for a long time.
That house is still there. That's the great part,
I
isn't
wonder if they converted it, or if they still get number one.
it? Yeah. I
Fuel
wonder
oil.
about that.
Yeah, do they still have fuel oil heaters in Minnesota? I mean, probably
What
up
are they?
north. I would assume they're all over the place.
Not anymore. EPA got involved. Can't burn used oil without
Oh.
expensive equipment.
Oh,
Of course. Well, so
Oh.
what? You're just gonna like put it in a barrel and chuck it in a cave? That's better.
Oh,
There you
number
go.
one will not gel, so it can be stored outside, and it's still around. Oh,
Huh?
interesting. I wonder if it's super expensive or cheaper than propane. We had a propane tank out in Maple Grove, remember?
I do.
And one year it was so cold it froze. It actually
Yeah, propane
froze.
can
Froze.
freeze.
Yep, and I was freaked out by that. I'm like, oh,
I understand.
I don't want to freeze to death.
Well, Sandy's got a new world record. I think this is the latest he's ever been. What the hell's he
Hello,
doing?
Bob.
You know what I like about all the people that appear on the show?
What?
I never get their bill late. That always comes right on time. I will
He
tell
says
you
you
that.
can't get in via video.
What?
Why not?
I don't know. He's done it 100,000 times.
Oh, this boy. Sandy, I hope you can hear me, you dope. That's all. I have
Maybe
to say.
he's listening.
Maybe he's listening.
That's
what the hell.
weird.
Well, why don't we take a break here, and we'll come back and keep moving the show forward. And if Bob can make it on, we'll pop him on. If he can't, he can't.
I suppose so.
There you go. We'll be right back.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Pete Wolf, owner of Robinson Rubber of Robbinsdale.
I partnered with North American Banking Company because I was able to talk to the president, and I know they have my back. They are much easier to talk to than those larger banks. The openness and flexibility has been the best part of banking with North American Banking Company. They understand small to medium businesses. No matter what part of the bank I am working with, North American Banking Company has the latest technology and friendly staff. I would absolutely recommend North American Banking Company to any of my closest colleagues if they want to have peace of mind in their business.
So why not bank where I bank, with my friends at North American Banking Company? To learn more about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com, or do what I do and stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Oh, you're rocking out, man. What do you think of that action?
Power bills in the chat.
What?
Still talking about power bills in the chat and furnace oil.
Oh,
Furnace oil
furnace oil. Yeah.
depends per gallon. Depends.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
It depends on the specific energy of it, I suppose. Like how long is a gallon of furnace oil going to last versus a gallon of propane?
Right.
I love this. Come on, Sandy, you pill, from Corey
Yeah,
Wolf
pill.
269. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sansevere, when he's usually here. Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. That's minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant. So what are we going to just end the show? What the hell's he doing?
I don't know. He says the system's not working.
Reboot.
Yeah. Why don't you go into your studio? That'd be a nice
A
deal.
lot of times you just have to shut down your computer and start it over
Is
again.
that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah. It's the only.
You know what we should do? And I think this is a really good idea. Because it's Bob and because he can't get it done, why don't we say some really horrible things about Italian people?
Poor Bob.
You know, these Italians can't ever figure out anything.
Poor Bob.
We'll start doing that to Sandy. Sandy's like the least Italian I've ever met. Don't you think?
Oh, I don't know if he'd
Think
like
so?
that. Well, with his weird pizza eating and
Yeah.
wow, that is a little not Italian.
Sandy is an odd. I love Sandy. Don't get me wrong. Sandy's a wonderful guy. Enjoyed working for all those years, but he is one weird sumbitch. I will tell you that. Don't you agree that he's pretty bizarre?
I think he'd agree with that.
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you two.
I can't speak.
No one's saying a word.
I'm not getting
I
involved.
love Sandy. He can take a joke. Well, if you can't take a joke, tough titty. That's what I say.
That's
right?
true. It's very true.
So what else is happening in the news or anything? Anything going on that we should know about?
Well, I mean, the world's bombing the world, and
God.
Yep.
So there's lots going on. I don't know if anybody wants to talk about it.
You know what I really hate is the promos for some national news, shows and all the rest of it. The first one they post, you've got to tune in this afternoon and see it because Trump was just destroyed by everybody in Congress. It was horrible. His career's nearly over. They go to commercial, come back. This just in, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is having the greatest year of any. Well, which one is it? Is he a disaster? Which one is it? Can you make up your own mind? Good God. Either they're wonderful or they're horrible. My deal is they're probably kind of in the middle because they still are human beings, right?
Right.
I just don't understand why people get so whipped up about this. First of all, the far left and the far right should be kicked out of this country. That's all I'm saying. What do you think?
The far right?
Far left and the far right.
Oh.
I like your Democrats and your Republicans. That was nice back in the day. Everybody had
those people are gone.
Yeah, I know they're gone, unfortunately, but it was a much smoother sail. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just calm down. Everything's good. See, Charlie says LOL.
There's been a lot of.
Oh, look what we got.
Oh, there he is.
We got him.
Speaking of bombing the world.
What the hell's your deal?
First, let me ask, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
We can hear you
fine.
now.
Good.
Where are you?
I'm at Gillette's Children in St. Paul.
Why?
Because my son Shane, he was born many years ago with a cleft lip and palate, and it's like the final visit he has because he may have to have some surgery, some final surgery. So
But that's
we're just
good,
going
though,
through
isn't
that.
it?
Today. It's great. He's doing great, but I mean, they may just give him like an orthodontist thing to. We're finding out. So it's several doctors throughout the day. So that's where I am. And
Tyre Carver just said you're lying that you apparently had like a vasectomy or something.
Got his stuff
What?
fixed. Whatever.
I've had 15 of them, but I'm an Italian, so they don't take.
Oh, so they don't take because you're Italian?
Yeah.
Is that what it's all about?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
See, Tom just accused you not too long ago of being the least Italian, and here he is with a mustache.
Yeah, look at that.
Italian.
Bob,
Well, it's
with
really
his-
actually the beard, not just the mustache.
Oh,
whole- you
yeah,
can't
I guess
see
I
it.
could see the
See?
mustache. Okay.
I keep it tight.
Nah.
So,
what the hell? What are
hey,
you doing?
I heard a little bit of what you were saying. My biggest problem with politicians from both sides, they're lemmings.
They
just-
are.
the only
You're
one who-
100%
one isn't.
right.
One isn't. Fetterman is the only one who's not a lemming, and I give him credit for that.
He's my new favorite guy. I got to be honest with you because he just tells it like it is. And if you don't like it, tough hop.
Oh, no. Yeah, they were talking about impeaching him because he's
Yes.
not agreeing with the party.
Yep.
I was like,
It's
nothing says
incredible.
free speech like impeaching the one person that
Yes.
wants to actually talk about stuff.
That's a free thinker.
We should probably get him on the show. That'd be a good idea.
I'll tell you what, Tom, if that guy ran for president, he may just have my vote.
Oh, I agree with you. Well, he's got some common sense, for God's sake.
The problem is,
He brings all of them with him is the
Yeah.
problem.
Do you think people realize the billions and billions and billions of dollars that not all of them, but some of them, our politicians, are stealing our money left and right? Why are they getting away with that?
well, okay, why are they getting away with that? Why did Hillary Clinton get away with getting up and walking out because somebody showed her picture online?
Yeah.
I mean, she should be held in contempt. They should tell her to sit your ass back down. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're not allowed to leave a deposition. Were they? Well, they weren't deposed, were they?
Oh, I believe they
Yeah,
were. That
they
was
were.
a deposition.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't just leave a deposition, can you? Is that allowed?
Well, they let her do it.
Do you have any
Well-
judges in the audience?
Well, she only said 3 things. It's like, I don't remember, or no, I have no recollection.
I never met the man, even though there's photos of her playing with his tie.
Yeah, and I don't know what you're talking about. Basically, they're the 3 things she just said over and over again.
And you know what's funny? I'm waiting for these people, like these. I haven't seen any of these pundits pointed out, but the first thing people said when the invasion of Iran took place was that it's a diversion from Epstein. Hey, your hero Bill Clinton exonerated Trump in the Epstein files. So why don't you just let it go?
I
He's a
don't see
hero,
that
right?
but that's not being splashed all over the place. That's not
No,
being.
I think that's a mistake. Bill
Well,
said he's good to go.
Listen to this. Where's Mike Bryant?
well, Bill is also a known liar, so I wouldn't.
There you go.
He's a well-known liar.
I just. Do you think, honestly, it is all about money, 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 money? There's no such thing as a
No.
political party anymore. It's just battling over money.
No, you have nailed it in the past. It's money and power.
Money
That
and power.
combination.
It just is a really bad. But they are stealing money from we taxpayers like there's no tomorrow, and no one's doing anything about it.
Now,
No,
isn't Fetterman a billionaire? Doesn't he have a ton of?
I don't
ton
think
of
he
money?
is.
I
Or do you
thought
have
he
money
was-
before he came in?
I think he was filthy rich when he started.
Well, he might have been.
Which is interesting because usually they can still get bought because
Right.
you only have a couple of billion. You want 50 billion. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it never ends with that crowd.
How many of these politicians go to Washington and leave paupers?
Zero.
No.
Yeah, the last one to do it, I think, was Harry S. Truman.
Yeah, that's right. It was Truman. You're right.
And actually, it was him who I think triggered giving them like a pension. I don't think they were getting. And by the way, you spent 2 years in Congress as a in the House of Representatives. 174,000 for life is
For
your
life.
pension.
That's so unfair.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. What were they in voiceover?
And they get and I think free health care, like beyond whatever, right? For
Yes.
forever.
They should get what everyone gets.
Yeah, which is shit health care.
Exactly what they
For
should.
a lot of money. For
Yeah,
a
there
lot
you
of
go.
money.
Fetterman's net worth is estimated to be around 1 to 1.5 million. So
That's it.
I thought
Really, yeah.
Fetterman was really wealthy. Oh,
Hey,
I don't know where I
he's
got
no
that from.
Ilhan Omar,
No.
going from what 30,000 to 30 million in a year, or
And
whatever.
now they're
the
saying
numbers
it's
were.
closer to 50 million.
Well, she was funneling all kinds of money to her husband's consulting firm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which husband? The brother one or the other one?
I think the new one, the newest, the white guy.
And by the way,
The
they
honky.
claim if they have that on her that she actually married her brother, why are they doing nothing?
I agree. I absolutely agree.
That's been examined and proven, and Minnesotans have known it forever and still keep her in there. It's I mean, I guess when somebody, how long's she been in Congress now? A very long time.
Yep.
It's really
Well,
hard
when
to
did-
get rid of somebody in Congress.
I think at least 8 years because she replaced Ellison and he's finishing his second term, right?
It's been forever.
As Attorney General.
Yeah. And once they
It looks
get
like
in,
I got huge hands.
yes,
It does. Look
On
at
that
those
thing.
hands.
meaty mitts.
So, but anyway, it's very discouraging what's happening there, and the same people who never said a peep when Obama and Clinton bombed other countries under the War Powers Act
Yep.
and did it the same thing. They didn't say anything and had no problem.
Nope.
I'm just disgusted with these politicians. Every one
They're
of them, except
horrible.
Fetterman.
Yeah, except Fetterman. He's about the only good one left. They're all horrible people. Jesus.
And by the way, everyone from the Minnesota delegation, every Democrat from the Minnesota delegation has been saying the same thing. It's illegal and it's unconstitutional, and they are lying.
They are lying.
And they know it.
Yep.
And it just disgusts me.
we had a question in the chat. How about the proposed Robin Hood bill? Legislation that would establish a 5% annual wealth tax on the 938 billionaires in America.
Love it.
That's
I
the
don't know what wealth tax means. I don't know what a wealth tax is.
well, that's a Bernie Sanders thing.
Yeah.
Well,
It's to
wealth
raise trillions.
taxes, I think you've got to be careful because, you know,
Yeah, you do.
if you want to just pass specific bills to kind of get money from specific people, where does it stop?
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Here's the problem I have with that. I mean, and I'm by no means wealthy, but if they are not cheating, they are paying a much higher amount of money than any of us are.
The income
Absolutely.
tax is huge when you get to that level. It's like
Well,
you're
that's
paying
what I'm saying.
60-70% of your income.
Or if anything, when you get to a certain level, then make them have to pay, because I like that whole 10%. You pay 10% of what you bring in for
Flat
everybody.
tax.
Yeah.
Flat
yeah.
tax. That would take care of it. And there's
I
no
don't-
loopholes. You just pay
Yeah,
the 10%.
but they don't like that. They want the loopholes.
Well, they want to steal money. That's why.
Of course.
Seriously, I can't take politicians anymore. There are a couple of them that I like, and the rest I just can't stand those people. They're all about money grubbing. That's all they do anymore. Who do they help?
Themselves.
Well, yes, they do. That's number one.
It's true. So, do you have an audience with you, Bob?
No, there's just a lot. Tom, I'm in a hospital in the waiting
Yeah,
room.
I know. You
So
can
there's a
barely
lot of
hear.
there's a lot of noise. Oh, you can't hear me?
No,
No,
we
we
can,
can
no, no,
hear
no,
you.
no. I'm saying they. I don't. I
No,
just
we
want.
just can hear a little background.
No, they can't hear you. Mary came over and told me to be quieter. Right,
Oh.
Mary? Hi.
There you go.
The death stare.
That's
I've
true.
gotten that a few times.
The death stare. Yeah, I
Oh,
understand.
yeah.
The audience is talking about flat tax Annie. They're talking about flat tax is fair. Ultimately, taxes mean nothing if it's poorly utilized. I would have to agree with that.
Hey, let me. I want to ask you something. It's on politics, but off topic a little bit. I had this discussion on the BS show with Brian McDaniel, he has a lobbying firm, right? And I asked him, they do have metal detectors going into the state capitol, right? But
Right. Yep.
you can still, if you have a carry permit, you can still bring your gun in as long as you show you have the paperwork.
Right.
I have a problem with that. And I know that sounds like, I do tilt more right than left. And I'm sure that people would be in an uproar, but especially now after what happened with Melissa Hortman and these threats against Lisa Damath, the speaker on the
Speaker.
Republican side, why are there letting people wandering around the Capitol with guns?
I know. I
I
can't.
would never bring my gun to the Capitol.
Nope.
Yeah, my
But
thought
I-
on gun-free zones like that, because gun-free zones make sense in theory, but a lot of them don't really make sense if you think about it too hard. Like, a lot of places say, okay, we're a gun-free zone. All right, so now imagine some lunatic pulls up and he's ready to commit a mass shooting and he sees the sign. He's like, oh, well, it's a gun-free zone, so I can't do it here.
Right.
They're not going to stop anything like that.
But you have the gun or the metal detectors. You're going to know if someone's coming in with a gun.
Right, that's what I'm
Just let them
saying.
check the gun.
I agree with a gun-free zone if it's got things like guards and metal detectors, so people
Right.
can't get in and start killing defenseless people.
Well, I got to be. I was in the Capitol last year because, as on the school board, we go and meet with our reps. You could walk freely. It's not like I didn't see many guards at all, unless they're all like hidden behind hidden walls to jump out.
Maybe
So-
just
I hope they're there, but in this climate, you really need to do something about that.
Yeah.
Oh, now
Just
Andy's
a thought.
freezing up.
Now Andy froze
Yeah.
up.
I'm freezing up.
Bob, you're
Yeah.
fine. Andy's freezing up. Weird.
Oh,
I'll do
always
it on my
something.
phone all the time now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're fine.
Andy, move your head.
Yeah,
I'm
Andy,
moving my head.
you're
There you
you're
go.
out,
You're
a little
fine.
out of focus, and you were strobing.
what?
I
was
can't even see him because it's showing me the timestamp above his. That's blotting
Oh.
out his entire view.
Oh,
Huh.
okay.
But no problem.
No
But
problem.
your little thing on the side there is lighting up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
well, our audience is phenomenal. I love them. They're just and they're very honest in their opinion. Just not a bunch of bullshit.
Well-
I'll say whatever you want me to. They just say whatever the hell they want, which I love.
Except anything coming out of Albuquerque
You're going right after them, huh?
at the Charlie.
He
After
bought a giant
Charlie.
slice of pizza just for you, and this is how you repay him.
Well,
Yeah,
then
way
never
to go.
mind. Charlie's my guy.
There's no
Oh,
question.
did I say Albuquerque? I meant
Albania? Albania.
Albania.
Algonquin. That's exactly right. There's no question about it.
Albert Lee.
I don't know. I think, isn't it time for the average American to step up and go, all right, enough of this bullshit on the left and the right. We've had enough. You people
Well-
are stealing our money by the fistful, and we're tired of it.
Well, and we're tired. Okay, I can't speak for anyone but myself. I am tired of the Democrats not passing funding for Department of Homeland Security when we are at a higher peril than maybe since 9/11 for attacks within the U.S. after what happened in Iran. And they will blame Trump immediately that it's his fault for going into Iran. I don't think so. You got to release that money and pay these people so they can be watching out for the rest of us. I have a
Well, yeah.
problem with that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Big problem.
because they do believe that there are a lot of sleeper cells in America
Yes.
that were brought in by the Democrats. Thank you very much. And that one guy already, he had
The
all
guy
that.
in Texas,
Yeah, he just
property
killed.
of Allah.
Yep.
Wasn't that what it said?
Yep.
What? What are you talking about? I don't know
The
this.
guy in Texas. He
When?
had a sweatshirt that I believe said "Property of Allah," and
Yeah,
a
yeah.
T-shirt underneath that was the Iranian flag. He's
Hmm.
the one that on Saturday, I think he shoot and kill a couple of people in
Yeah, I think he
Texas.
killed like 9 people, didn't he? Or to
Yeah.
shoot
He
9
shot that
people?
man. Yeah, he shot a number
For what
Yeah.
reason? Because they weren't
'Cause
his
they're-
religion or something?
Because, we're supposed to go.
He was displeased.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
It
he
might
was
have been-
just, yeah.
It might have been related to what happened in Iran.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I guess, they took out the Dubai airport.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Somebody
that.
bombed. Yeah, Iran is now bombing all kinds of other Middle Eastern countries.
Okay, they're doing all of them, like 14 of them. But here's
Yep.
the question: who's calling the shots now with the top 48 out? Somebody's
Yeah.
making these calls.
Yep, that's true.
Who is it, and how long before they get them?
It's just this. Why did we get? Why? I remember when I was a kid, my mother always told me, be nice to people. Don't be, be doing things behind people's back and be nice. Did the parents not do that anymore? Tell their children, why don't you act like a decent person and not take advantage of other people?
Well, they may have done it, but then they get taken in by at school, and generally it's when they get to college. There's certainly
Yeah,
some
oh,
at
yeah.
the-
Oh, yeah.
There's some schools, and thankfully, many of them, like where I am in Buffalo. I mean, they do it straight. They're not trying to indoctrinate kids, but there are schools where they do.
They
Yeah,
really
they
do.
do.
There's a viral video going around about this woman who was from Iran, and her parents escaped the regime and all of this, and she's like, oh, it's just so nice that all the liberal college students know everything about living under communism. It's so nice that the liberal college students know everything it is to be living under an Islamic regime that'll gouge out your eye for having a couple of strands of hair loose in the wind. It's so great that the liberal college students know absolutely everything about everything.
I thought those Columbia students was it Saturday, Death to America?
Death to America? For what
And they're at
reason?
Columbia University.
Yep, and they're probably
What?
getting a free ride
Why are they chanting death to America?
because
they were
Islam is the
displeased.
thing.
Well, wouldn't that include them?
They don't think that far ahead.
Oh, they don't. I don't think that far down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're chanting for other people to be killed, you're going to be one of them eventually. You need to learn that lesson from Uncle Tommy right now.
Well, if you look at Iran, it was a lot of women that were displeased about their rights, and they teamed up with the regime that ended up taking over. And guess who got murdered? All their husbands. Everybody
Yeah.
got murdered. Everybody who is anti-authority gets murdered because they want to sweep everybody out and start afresh. And this is what you're going to think, do, act, everything. We're going to control everything about you. That's what
And
they do.
well, I saw in New York, Mamdani, the mayor, is saying he's okay if Sharia law is practiced.
He's
in parts of
okay
New
with
York.
it.
Yeah.
This guy is a multi-billionaire, is he not? His family?
He's got some dough. Yeah.
They got a lot of dough. Why would you elect that prick, the mayor of Minneapolis, or
Because
mayor of New York? I
he
mean?
smiled and offered
Yep.
free everything to everyone.
And
And
the-
they
He's got
all
that
believed him.
charm. Yep.
They fell
Okay.
for it.
And what's the first thing they saw? 9 to 10 foot deep garbage bags stacked up everywhere.
Well, it's not unusual for New York City, though, is it?
Oh, yes, it is.
It's all
Some
garbage.
places, no. I mean, these bags of garbage were like 8 feet deep.
Yeah, how many
Well-
people died because of the cold weather? Because he wouldn't
Yep.
About
sweep
2
the
dozen.
homeless encampments.
2 dozen
right?
people died, yeah.
The good thing is, though, when it snowed, it covered the garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah, that does help with the
Exactly.
that does help with the stench.
so
It
pretty.
looked like giant drifts.
Yeah.
You know, can I run something by people and see if they get really pissed off at me? But it's all of our duties in this particular family, Catherine and Andy and Alex and myself. We had talked about, we told our kids this is how it goes and all the rest of it and blah, 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 blah. Right? I mean, why don't families get together and go, you can't treat people like that. Don't act like that. Andy and Alex, Tom and Catherine. That's not how you're supposed to act.
Yeah.
You heard that when you were a kid, didn't you, Bob?
course it did.
Of course. Not anymore.
Stridently.
Not anymore. Oh, stridently, absolutely stridently.
Well,
You need to behave.
You have to remember that the moms are on TikTok and on Instagram, and they're getting all kinds of likes for being on one side or the other.
Jesus. It just, why do they have to destroy the greatest country in the world? Explain that to me.
And they say how horrible it is.
Oh, it's horrible. Absolutely. Death to America, Bob. Death to America. God. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. We better take our last break, come back, and wrap it up right after this.
Brad, John Bryant, Michael Bryant. Michael, what's up?
Dealing with another case where a person gave a statement to the adjuster because they thought the person was really friendly.
Is that a good idea?
Well, the problem is they know the law when they call you up. And while you're trying to be fair and you're trying to get help, the reality is there are questions you get asked that the way you answer them make a big difference. And people put themselves in trouble. And when they aren't in trouble, they didn't do anything wrong, but suddenly the adjuster's got a statement that can blow up their case completely.
What has caused people to be so untrustworthy, I guess is the best way I could put it? They take advantage.
Well, insurance companies have hired adjusters whose job it is to deal with unrepresented people. So they're supposed to kind of lure them in, call them every day, see how they're doing. And people are like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Where the reality is they've kind of adjusted to their problem that they've got going on. So it's not that they're completely better, but the way they say it gets to be a problem. And that's why having somebody who can explain your rights, represent you, make sure that you understand the law before you give a statement can make a big difference in your case.
Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant.
Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Bob Sansevere brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers. All right, Bob, what else? You got to have some good news.
Well, we could talk a little bit about the Vikings quarterback situation.
Oh, yeah, I want to hear this. Yep.
They're looking at everyone going back to Y.A. Tittle. Once they find out he's dead, they'll move on to somebody else.
Y.A. Tittle was
It's
when I was
incredible.
a kid, I think.
Yeah, there's not a quarterback who's going to be available they're not considering because they don't know what they're doing.
That
I
team
don't understand
sucks.
this team.
Do they understand how bad the Twins and the Vikings both just suck?
Well, the two players and these are reputable reporters saying it. It's not just some of these dopey ones from these websites that they
Yeah.
Dopey.
But
Dopey.
yeah, there's dopey ones out
websites.
there. They're saying that Kyler Murray and Geno Smith are the two best options for the Vikings. Now, the problem with Kyler Murray is when he's healthy, he's good, but he's not been healthy very often, especially the last couple of years. And he's not the kind of quarterback that Kevin O'Connell has been able to work with in the past. I mean, think back to when they had Joshua Dobbs, the rocket scientist.
Right.
He was the same type, not as good, but he wanted to run and he was freelancing. This is what he does, Kyler Murray. So I don't understand why they think he'd be a good fit. And he doesn't have the great deep ball. Then there's Geno Smith, who led the league in sacks and interceptions the last couple of years. And they say he didn't have a good offensive line. But, some guys hit the wall, and he may have hit the wall. The reason they're so attractive is they only have to pay them the minimum of like $1.3 million because their current teams have to pay the guaranteed money if they release them. I mean, they're owed money, and it's not going to be by the Vikings, so they're going to look to get the cheapest guy possible.
That's such a Minnesota thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's get the cheapest guy out there. That's not how you win, you dopes.
And the guy that they really would like to get is Mac Jones. But if you are the 49ers, why would you let him go? He got a 5-3 record for you when Brock Purdy was hurt.
Yep.
If Purdy goes down again, you're still set. You're not going to be harmed very much. So I don't think that's going to happen at all for them. Where they're going to wind up with him.
I got to be honest with you, Bob. I haven't had any sport to follow in, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, these teams are terrible, not just bad.
The best teams in Minnesota, frankly, have been the women's teams. Now, the women's basketball team's made a comeback. They're going to be in the NCAA tournament, which is good for them. Men's hockey is still pretty good at all levels. And, women's hockey certainly is in Minnesota with the Gophers. But any other sport, good luck. Well, okay, let's see what happens with the Wild. Now, their trade deadline is this week. And if they can get another good like a center, maybe they'd be fine with that. But it doesn't look like they're going to get Jack Hughes after he had the game-winning goal in the gold medal game because his price went way up. So we'll have to see if they can do anything. And then the Wolves are just, they're so inconsistent. And yes, they have a good record, but you can't count on them when you feel, hey, we can count on them.
Yeah. I understand, Bob. Well, we'll keep our finger to the pulse, don't you think?
I think that's all you can do.
All right, Bob. Well, enjoy your time at the hospital.
Thanks, Tom.
So how's she doing? Is she good?
No, it's my son.
Oh, it's your son? I thought it was your daughter.
No, it's not my daughter. How's my daughter doing? She drives me nuts. The 16-year-old. All right, now I got to ask you something.
The greatest.
We babysat for 5 hours for our grandson Bowen, and he was great. I mean, he was great, right?
Oh.
He had one little thing, and he had to have his diaper changed. But
one little thing.
Well, I almost couldn't. Was it like this for you when with the first grandchild? I couldn't wait for Sam to get back because I felt I didn't want anything to go wrong. And you feel like, oh my God, what if something happens? She'll never forgive us. Not that we would do anything wrong, but I mean, we've gone through 5 of them.
Well, yeah, but you forget, because it's been a long time since you had a baby in the house, and they seem so fragile. But I mean, if they're clean, dry, and fed, they're usually pretty darn good.
But see, with the other one, they were ours. So if something happened, I didn't mind as much. But this is my grandchild.
Yeah, it's like borrowing someone else's car. It's like you don't want to. Yeah, exactly.
If we ding up ours, it's one thing. I mean, I think Sam, my oldest daughter, probably would have the highest IQ in the world if she hadn't been on that bouncy thing and bounced off onto the floor that one time. No, we had her checked. Everything was fine.
Thank
God.
Good
learning experience. Yeah.
Well, I know with Alex, it was easier to go to her house because she had all the things that she thought were, and had researched were the safest things in the whole wide world. And,
you got to go there.
It was easier. It just was easier.
Because they're content. And by the way, the comment about Sam, she did get into radio. So, my God, what happened?
There you
clearly
go.
brain damaged.
There you go.
No,
all right, Sandy. We'll talk to you again later on in the week, next week, whenever.
Next week. We'll talk later. We'll leave it at that.
Thanks, Bob.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sansevier Sports, sponsored by Bradshaw and Bryant Personal Injury Lawyers. All right, any closing words from the two of you?
Any Ethan-isms?
Ethan-isms, probably.
Nah.
I mean, Colin's going downstairs now.
What?
It's always a scary part of the development.
Oh, the backwards thing or walking?
Yep. He's sliding back. He's sliding down backwards. He's way too small to walk downstairs.
Yeah.
He doesn't walk downstairs until he's like 3. He's tiny.
Yup.
Yeah, Melissa actually brought the kids over here after the show yesterday. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know she was coming here. All of a sudden, I was closing out the show, and all of a sudden she shows up, and I'm like, oh, would you look at that? And Tiffany was still here, so she got to meet the kids and stuff. So that was fun. But yeah, we played up in that room up there, and then Colin decided to slide his way down the stairs, and I was like, is this okay? Or
well, they're carpeted, so
they are carpeted, but yeah, I don't know.
I know.
I remember Ethan doing that the first time, and I was like, he's going to die doing this.
Well, he's always been he's a sturdy fellow, though.
That is true. Ethan is Colin is surprisingly robust with all the pushing over and getting hit and so forth. From an older brother.
Great.
It has to push him down 20 times a day, like unironically. I'll just walk up to him and shove him over just for no reason. No matter how much we yell, no matter how much we put him in his room, he just big fan of shoving Colin over. And at this point, half the time Colin doesn't even cry. He's just like, this is my life.
This is my life now.
Yeah. So he's definitely getting resilient at a very young age. I can tell you that much.
It is a good thing. All right, Andrew, we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
Every time I hear the same, reminds me how you you talking